You see that hoverboard there? One day I'll have 3 of those.
Absolutely. You'll even have them in different colors.
No way!
With my cashback from My Way, in 2 years, I'll have extra money in my pocket to spoil you even more, my boy.
You're the best, Dad.
Introducing My Cashback from My Way. Stay claim-free for just 2 years and get 10% of your premiums back to live your way. Go to myway.co.za and get a quote today. My Cashback is a feature on qualifying products paid after 2 claim-free years and all premiums paid. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
On 947, this is EWN.
Good evening, I'm Noluthando Ngeno. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Criminality, Political Interference and Corruption in the Criminal Justice System is said to cost almost 148 million rand over 6 months. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development confirmed the amount to EWN in a written email. During a briefing in Sandton yesterday, Acting Deputy Chief Justice and Chairperson of the Commission, Mbuyiseli Madlanga, informed the media he was not in a position to talk about the cost, directing all questions to the department. Oren Singh reports.
The estimated cost of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry into the Criminal Justice System has been set at 147.9 million rand. The budget will form part of a standard operating procedure to be tabled to Cabinet by Justice Minister Mamaloko Kubai for approval. According to the department, the budget and SOP will cover organizational structure and reporting formats, information security and storage, monitoring and implementation mechanisms, compensation structures for commissioners, employees, legal professionals and researchers, administrative costs, including office leases, digital infrastructure and security arrangements. The department will also oversee procurement process for the Commission's operations, adding they've applied to National Treasury for a deviation from standard procurement processes and are currently awaiting a response. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
Gauteng Deputy Police Commissioner Fred Kekana has assured the public that all outstanding investigations into the murder case of 11-year-old Jaden Lee Meek will be concluded by the time trial begins. Kekana addressed members of the media earlier after Tiffany Meek's failed bail application at the Roodepoort Magistrate Court. He says they are satisfied with the outcome of today's proceedings. Meek will remain in custody for the murder of her son, whose body was discovered a few meters away from her Fleurhof apartment in May. Kekana says they have a few points that still need to be ironed out.
As we alluded previously, that Sispindi has indicated that there were some little loose ends which need to be tightened up, and those reports that are outstanding will be available when the trial starts.
And lastly, the city of New York says the gunman who killed 4 people when he stormed into a skyscraper left a note that appeared to blame the NFL for a brain injury. 27-year-old Shane Tamura shot himself immediately after opening fire in a building at the Football League's headquarters. At least 6 people were killed in the incident. Here's City Mayor Eric Adams.
From our preliminary investigation, he took the wrong elevator bank up to the NFL headquarters. Instead, it took him to Rudin Management, and that is where he carried out additional shootings and took the lives of additional employees.
It's going to be a fine day in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Temperatures will drop to overnight lows of between 0 and 2 degrees and peak at highs of between 18 and 20 degrees. Noluthando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Mr. Marawa, I just want to comment regarding the Cape Town City SAFA. After some reports earlier today emerged that they just won a case that SAFA arbitration for the PSL disciplinary committee to open an investigation of player ineligibility. And indications are that a win there means reinstating them. And I'm a bit concerned, Mr. Marawa, because this might delay, the start of the season. in.
As far as I know and as far as I'm concerned, they've been given 5 days to act on this matter. So 5 days, meaning that as of today, Friday is the deadline, and they really need to act. It is true. I think it is a case that could really shake up the league.
I'm so proud to be a South African right now with that bloody boy. Marawa, please ask the young man if he will make sure that he'll play for Mafana when he grows up, not for each other, please.
Live in studio, as I said, the father, the mother, the coach, and the player are all here. Iken Atladi, you would love to play for Bafana Bafana, right? And not for Italy.
I'll see when the time comes.
Why? The time is now.
I don't know.
These Italians have already started promising things. I can see that. Bampopi, good to see you. What did you see and learn? What are the learnings and teachings that you got from your short stint in Italy?
Wow. So the academy is there, very professional from a very young age.
Yeah.
It was like a big player coming. I was even surprised. They appreciate talent. That's what I can say.
With coach Jesse Julius down in Cape Town, former BT Football Academy coach.
The indications is clear. You know, the being deleted out of groups, no communication is clear. That is all indications of being fired.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
All right, so another big interview coming up right here on #MSW Marawa Sports Worldwide. She's here in person. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Well, it's still so difficult to actually say the words to the former Banyana stalwart. Jermaine Seoposenwe is here in person to talk to us about the big decision, to talk about her career, to talk about anything and everything that has to do with the journey that she's had as far as representing South Africa, representing herself internationally as well. So any questions or comments, please feel free. It is going to be a lightning quick show, and we don't want you to miss out. But firstly, let's give you some updated stories, though, coming through from the Springbok camp. The head coach, Rassie Erasmus, has provided a squad health update as preparations intensify, though, for the Rugby Championship. Now, following July victories over Italy and Georgia, the Boks are in camp ahead of the back-to-back tests against Australia, first in Johannesburg on the 16th of August and then down in Cape Town on the 23rd of August. And with a 37-man squad in camp and no major injury concerns, Erasmus says that the team is focused on tactical refinement and squad depth as they prepare to defend their title.
Injury-wise, part of the squad currently with us here. First, hello to everybody. Sorry, I thought it was not a virtual meeting. I was actually saying there's so few people here at the press conference, so that's why we're a bit late. Sorry about that. But yes, injury update is in the team. Kainan's got a bit of a hand issue, but it should be cleared up on Monday. And the other one that was Cheslin had a bit of a knee, but he seems to be okay. So in the squad here currently with us, no real big injury concerns with the 37 guys that's here. Obviously we've got the 3 young guys also just training with us. They're all injury free. Guys who's got long term, most obviously out. I mean, I can't go deep into the guys, but Elrich will be one. Obviously, Frans Malherbe is one. Gerard Steenkamp is another, I think, 6 weeks before he's ready. He's struggling a bit with his there, but the Bulls is doing the rehab on him. 3 guys that I mentioned, there were 2 guys that I mentioned. Cheslin had a bit of a knee, and Kainan a hand, but it was just a bit of infection, nothing, he got scans and everything. So both of them should be available. Kainan is training already with us, and Cheslin hopefully next Monday.
So Erasmus also weighed in on a very tough call on the British and Irish Lions test, but admits though that everybody has to accept it.
Well, I had Australia by 4 points in the game, and my score was 27, I think 23. So I lost our internal one on that one. So no, that's such a tough decision, and World Rugby came out and say it was the right decision. So I know it's a very tough call for the referee to make there, and I know if I was Joe, I would be really disappointed, and if I was Andy, I would be really happy. So for me to make a call here, I don't go through those emotions there. But if some guys say clearly play on. I think it was touch and go. So I can understand that both sides of what both coaches see. But World Rugby has ruled on it, and that's what everybody has to accept.
And finally, Erasmus has also roped in 3 championship-winning junior Springboks in Hashim Piet, Cheslin Uester, as well as Batubebele Hlekani to be part of the camp as well, and is very proud of how they've trained so far.
For us, it's realistically probably we know all of us will be involved till 2027 if one don't get fired before then. But so we're just looking at all possibilities of guys. We try to have 3 positions deep in experience and being calm and understanding the Springbok setup, and also get enough youth involved there. But if you get 3 injuries in one position, and that can happen in one game, 2 games, you can have 3 injuries in one position. So, we definitely don't see those guys playing test matches this year. But getting them used to the environment here, and wherever they go for their franchises or their clubs, or if they're still under 20, which one of them are still, playing next year for the junior Springboks, it's just for us to understand how quickly you can, like we did with Ntokoza, how quickly guys can make the step up and settle into the whole environment and the energy they bring. So the 3 of them know 100% well that there's no chance that, apart from if they really knock down the door and blow us away at training sessions. They take part in every single part of the training sessions. The boardroom sessions or the classroom sessions and the physical sessions and the scrum sessions and the mauling session, Batu and so on. So it's not like we put them out of certain things. It's not just for them to sit and listen and learn. It's for them to take part as well, and also to make sure the older guys know this is what's coming through. So yes, they are fitting in well, and I think they're enjoying it, and they're keeping up. They're really keeping up with the other guys, so that's great.
Oh man, we've waited long and hard for this moment. I don't know if I'm excited or I'm sad. It's a whole mixed bag of emotion though, but hey, that's why I'm saying that tonight we're going to be honoring a warrior, a trailblazer, a dreamer, somebody who did and delivered. I mean, she wore the green and gold with fire in her heart and also a nation on her back. You go back to her debut when she was just, 17, scoring the historic goals at the World Cup, standing tall in Europe's toughest leagues. She did it all, though, with pride, poise, and power. You remember she was there when South Africa women's football fought for recognition. She stayed pretty much when it was tough, and she rose when it mattered most. And now she kind of steps away from the international stage, not in silence, but with a legacy that does roar. You and I cannot deny that. And that is why tonight we welcome a legend, a daughter of the soil, a former Banyana Banyana forward who gave her everything. I can say that very proudly because we've witnessed it. Let's reflect, let's celebrate, let's give her and send her those flowers. Can't see them, but they're there. She deserves them. I suppose it's not a goodbye, it's pretty much a salute, ladies and gentlemen. Jermaine Seoposenwe, good to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Former. Why are you putting us in this situation? How are you a former Banyana Banyana player?
I don't know. I made the decision to retire. So I'm a former Banyana player now.
At 31?
Yeah, it's tough, but sometimes you have to make decisions for your well-being and just walk away.
Okay, I'm hearing that for the 3rd time. I've been following all of your interviews. I'm doing this for my well-being.
Yeah.
But before we get to the well-being, before we get to anything, listen to this.
Seoposenwe on the outside, beating out O'Hara for that ball in the wing from Lugwanya. And she's going to win a corner first today for South Africa. That was a good little piece of soccer there by South Africa.
Banyana Banyana forward, Jermaine Seoposenwe, joined an esteemed list of South African female footballers who have reached this milestone. These include, among others, retired stalwarts like Amanda Dlamini, Janine van Wyk, and Portia Modise.
It's a privilege and an honor always to walk out for the national team. We've grown leaps and bounds, and
Seoposenwe looks back at her illustrious career with a lot of gratitude.
And you can see the growth in this team, and you can see where we're going and what we want to continue to achieve.
And has earned the patch of being one of the most reliable players.
Que se van del partido, Rayadas que empieza a revolucionar, lado derecho que está abierto la China metiendo este servicio, pelota que pasa, remate, cántala conmigo. ¡Gol! Seoposenwe llega perfecta al encuentro del balón.
Me, I'm not a leader that speaks much. I'm not that vocal. That's why I don't wear the captain armband. But I do it in my actions. I do it in my work. And that's all I can present to the young players. At the end of the day.
Jermaine Seoposenwe.
People learn from seeing things and not from what you tell them. And so hopefully in my actions in practice, the way I train, the way I carry myself around camp, they can just pick up and carry with them. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. I'm not a senior player.
As Jermaine Seoposenwe gets the kind of send-off that her career deserves here. The tournament has certainly not ended in the way that she would have wanted, but still a touching moment.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
That's our short way of saying thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a great video.
You were visualizing it as it was happening.
It was, yeah, I was. Especially that Rihanna's goal.
Well, we didn't know what they were saying.
Gotta learn Spanish, Rob. It's time now. You travel a lot, so.
Okay. How much Spanish do you know?
A lot. I speak Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, though, because you haven't. In Spanish.
No, you put it out with us.
No, you raised this. I didn't say anything.
Let's stick to English. We're in South Africa.
No. Teach us. Yesterday we were learning Italian from a 9-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So we might as well learn Spanish from a 31-year-old.
No, I'm good. I'm good for now. I only use it when I need to, on the pitch with my teammates at training.
So how do you say I have retired in Spanish?
Vaya retiro. Football.
Vaya retiro.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's got some tzotsital there. Vaya. Yeah, vaya. Vaya retiro. As you're listening to that, what is going through your mind? Because you were semi-emotional, semi-blushing, semi-visualizing. There was a lot that was going through your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a journey for me in the national team, I think. Like I've always said, football has given me everything. And it's tough to walk away from the national team, I think. After 15 years and the ability that I still have, that I know that I have as one of the best players in the country, it is tough. It's tough to walk away from my teammates, tough to walk away from the people of South Africa and how they've supported me. And before I go any further, I want to thank them for all the messages that they've sent me and just the love that they showed me over the years. And so it's tough to make that decision, but it's something I feel like I had to do. At the end of the day, I haven't been happy in the national team for a very long time, and obviously just continuing to push through those emotions and those feelings in that setting it's tough. I think at the end of the day, you are a senior player, so you carry a lot of pressure as well within the football side of it, and so the emotional side of it is just I just want to love football, like I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to continue to struggle for things that as a national team player you deserve. And so I just think for my happiness, for my well-being, I don't want to lose the love for football as well. And I think I've also beginning to lose that love for football and kind of growing resentment for football. So I think that's not something I've experienced anywhere, maybe I think a little bit in Spain, but it's just a feeling that I don't want to feel. And so I was like, it's just time for me to go at the end of the day. If you are happy in a certain environment, I think that's how I feel in Mexico. That's how I feel within Rayadas, happy, vibrant, just a completely different person. And then coming back to the national team, you know, seeing myself is like, it's crazy to me sometimes just to sit down with myself and just know the difference in how I feel when I'm with my team in Mexico, and then while I'm in the national team, it's not who I am. And I feel like, I think for the couple of games that I've been back as well, I think people see that. I think people who really know me can see that I'm a shell of myself within the national team. And so I just didn't want to be that person anymore. I know what I can bring to the national team. I know what I mean to my teammates and the people of South Africa. And I just felt like, out of respect for everyone that's involved within the national team and the people of South Africa, and just the performances that I feel like I've given since I got him back is just not up to my standard. And so if I am going to be this person, then what's the use? You know, what's the use of continuing to basically force myself to come and play football, which is a thing that I love so much, like out of everything besides my family, friends. Something I love so much is the passion that I have for the game, everything that I've put into it. It's not who I am. And so I just felt like it's best that I walk away and not decline in football, or just, you know, I think at the end of the day, it was the best decision for me to do that. And I know it's sad for the people of South Africa to realize. I've gotten so many messages to say, reconsider, come back. But at the end of the day, I have to go there. I have to basically force myself to be there and struggle within the national team, which is unfair to the people that work hard, unfair to my teammates. And obviously for me, I want to be better. I want to try. I've been trying for a very long time. I think over 2 years, I've known that I just don't feel the same way that I feel outside of the national team when it comes to football. And so I just thought, no, it's time. And I think something my dad said just hit home, and I think I made that decision right then. I think it was after the Malawi game. I walked into the house, and normally he comes to pick me up at the airport, but he didn't come. My sister came and picked me up, and I went back home, and I walked into the house, and he was sitting on the couch, and he looked at me and he said, "You just don't look like you want to be there." And I was like, I really don't, but I felt like maybe I can still push, you know, to the WAFCON. Maybe I can help the team retain the title. Obviously, Temi and I speak, so I kind of knew beforehand that she wasn't going to be at WAFCON. And so I felt like the both of us couldn't, you know, not go. The both of us, one of us had to.
So she didn't want to go for the same reasons?
No, not the same reasons. She had her own personal reasons. Okay. And it basically had nothing to do with football. And so I just knew that one of us had to basically go.
I want to come back from the break, though, because and the beauty about allowing you to speak is that there's so many different things when I come back to. So we'll pick up on that. We are also live on the YouTube channel, so anybody can follow, watch, and comment on the YouTube channel, because it is an important conversation that we're having with one of South Africa's finest and brightest. Because, you know, for me, still at 31, I'm like, listen, come now.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
For those who don't wait in line, at Groove, at brunch, or at checkout, because waiting doesn't fit their brand aesthetic. For those who always know a guy that knows a guy, there's Take A Lot More MVP Days. Shop 5 days of exclusive deals, discounts, and coupons on Take A Lot and Mr. D from 25 to 29 July exclusively for Take A Lot More members. Sign up now and get in on the MVP action. Shop the Take A Lot More MVP Days on Take A Lot and Mr. D today.
Food Lovers Market is bringing you unbeatable deals this winter carnival. Save big on one 7 kg potato pocket and one 3 kg onion bag for 99 Rand per combo. Buy 3 1 kg tomato thrift packs for 50 Rand. 5 creamy avocados for 50 Rand. And 3 200 gram white button mushroom punnets for just 50 Rand. Valid until 3 August. Only at Food Lovers Market. Winter Carnival now on.
Speed meets simplicity with the Honor 400 Lite from Vodacom, Mzansi's winning 5G network. Get yours today for only $349 per month over 36 months on a 1 gig Red Core plan. Enhance your deal. Add 9 Rand extra per month and get the Honor Choice Watch 2i. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together. Vodacom.
There's now even more that goes into a Toyota Vitz. So to get it all into 30 seconds, I've asked for a little help.
Toyota! Toyota Vitz! Mocha! Fuel efficiency! Go far! Automatic drive, bro! Easy, let's go! Airbags all around ya! Safe car! Touchscreen display! Android Auto! Apple CarPlay! Toyota Vitz! Mocha! Even more Vitz! Let's cash!
There's just something different about flying with Lyft. Whether you're traveling solo for business or with the whole family for a well-deserved getaway, we've put our hearts into creating an elevated flying experience. Visit lyft.co.za today.
At Lotto Star, we're proud to be the first in SA to offer a dedicated responsible betting program. Need to check in with yourself? Take our self-assessment quiz. Need a break? Choose a cooling off period or our easy self-exclusion option. For help and support, our independent counselors are here 24/7. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
With coach Jesse Julius down in Cape Town, former BT Football Academy coach. When did you eventually get back to South Africa?
So we arrived last week, Thursday.
And you were met at the airport by who?
By the parents of all the kids that was in our care. There was no one in sight of management. There was no chairman. No one of the academy management structure was at the airport.
So you just went through an ordeal with kids in a foreign land. So they didn't even bother to pitch up to say and welcome back and confront the truth with the media, but also to comfort the kids and say sorry or something. None of them from management came to the airport.
Nothing of that happened.
Parents just took their kids and they left.
Parents were there celebrating, crying, but I think it was a joyous moment because all kids were reunited with their families.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Ukhuluma noSibongeleni Mkhwani. Good evening to Sis Jermaine. Mr. Marawa, I'm very, very disappointed with a decision by Jermaine, but not in a bad way, because I was still expecting a lot from her in that Banyana Banyana team, because I think we need those experienced players to guide the youngsters for the future. But what I can say with Jermaine is that he has served the national team with distinction. I just wish her everything of the best in future. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Good evening, Rob, the shoulders, and your beautiful guest there with Jermaine. Jermaine, my sister, thank you very much. On behalf of South Africa, I thank you very much. You have served the country with dignity, even though I still feel it's too early for you to call it quits. But hey, what can you do? We'll have to soldier on. Jermaine, I have a question for you, and I'm hoping you won't have any problem to answer this question. Do you think SAFA is doing enough to bring in eligible players to play for Banyana Banyana? That's my question for you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Rob, and your guest in Jermaine J12 Seoposenwe. Rob, now that Jermaine is no more a Banyana Banyana player, I think it's time now to spill the beans. What actually happened to take the decision like this? Is it the treatment they get from SAFA, salary-wise, money-wise? Because I think even Upekinini, Utembi, he's not there because there's something wrong. It's the treatment the girls receive from our very own SAFA. So I think it's time to spill the beans now today. And hopefully we'll see her in future in club competition. Thank you, Rob. Teweta 10 all the way from Amala in the Northwest.
Right, messages coming in from the Northwest, from Eswatini, coming through from Mpumalanga, from KZN, from in and around Gauteng, wherever you are listening to the show in and around the world, the continent or Mzansi. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, thank you so much indeed. Lots of those messages are also filtering through there. Sure, plenty. I think this is where you realize how well loved you are. When people show the love. So you can tune into the YouTube channel anytime from now. Nomtandazo says that, thank you, J12. Looking very beautiful as usual. And Nati Poso says, all the best, sister, for your future endeavors. Hopefully, we are still going to see you within football structures in South Africa, especially within women's football. Kagiso Mohapi says, you got a true leader in your presence. She showed leadership against Nigeria immediately after Salgado got injured. Tell her that we have a lot of time for her. Whatever she speaks, she makes sense. And Motse says, good evening to you and your guest, Jermaine J12 Seoposenwe. Let me start by thanking her family for giving us their star to shine for the country. And we thank Jermaine for everything that she has made and done for South Africa. Usibusiso Mkhunu says, I'm glad that she chose to be honest with herself. It would have been an injustice to her well-being, continuing to play for the national team without being emotionally present. So there are plenty of those. So the reason why I do also encourage you to watch the YouTube channel is that if you're not familiar with her work and what she does on the field, we do show you some of the highlight reels and videos and all sorts of things. So it's not just talking heads. So big ups to the team here on hashtag MSW for keeping it alive and lively and exciting as always. If you're just joining us again, Jermaine, recently retired? Your honesty taking us to the break had to do with your love for the game disappearing every time you would be called up, have to play for the national team. So my question is, what was it that was making it so difficult, uncomfortable, intolerable for you to actually come back and represent your nation? Because if it's something that big, Jermaine, that leads you to say, you know what, I want to retire from playing football for the national team. Mm-hmm. But I want to carry on playing football where I am happiest, as you will be leaving the country to go back and play for your club. What is going on at Banyana that makes you to feel the way you do?
I think first and foremost, it's definitely the association and the treatment of us in many instances. I think I kind of try to wrap my head around it, but it's difficult as a player, especially being overseas and being in an environment where our directors, the club itself, try to make our environment as equal as possible. I think I was telling one of the people that I was working with, like the other day, Sergio Ramos was in the gym, and we share that gym. It's not where he's over there and we over here. Like those things matter in terms of our club is basically telling us, you guys are not different to them. You guys are playing football. You guys are the same. We're going to treat you the same. You use the same facilities. You use the same field. And a star like Sergio Ramos, they could have been like, oh, he can do whatever he wants. Like, this is him. And, but the effort put into ensuring that there's equality within those structures is important. We use the same gym. He was in the gym. We went in there. He was like, hey, how are you guys, talking to us? And then we just kept on going. So those things, I think, speak a lot about the treatment of Banyana within the association and how serious they take women's football. And obviously, I'm a professional. I can withstand that treatment, but up until a certain point, I think when you have a choice, and basically for the 2 years, I've kind of just shaped my decisions because I was feeling so unhappy to get to a point where I can walk away because I have that choice. Other players don't have that choice. And so I think the treatment, every time we go to a major tournament, we have to fight about money. We have to fight about basically everything. And it's just like, why do we have to fight? Why can't you plan out for the year? I mean, FIFA gives you a calendar of what we're going to do. Yeah. Why don't you budget for those FIFA dates? Why is it so impossible for you to do well by us, to give us the places that we should be staying at, the resources that we should be having? And obviously I can go through all the resources that we need, and then the comparison and between my club and this and that. And I think that's where it kind of comes in. Like when you are treated the way you need to be treated, and then you come back to an environment that you aren't being treated the way you want to be treated, then it becomes difficult for you to do your job to the best of your abilities. And I think I could name so many things that happen, but obviously it's always this money issue. Like, why is it always an issue? Like, why can we not get to a point where the association comes to us before a major tournament even happens and said, hey, we are coming to you and negotiating with you from a transparency. This is what's happening. This is how we're going to work. And this is what we're going to do. And we are going to give you the utmost support. We're going to give you the utmost respect. And you guys are going to be staying in the places that you want to be staying, traveling in the way that you want to be traveling, or that you need to for an athlete to prepare and be mentally and physically ready for what's going to be happening. Obviously, the country expects us to do these amazing things, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know how we're suffering, how we treated, how we have to constantly fight. And obviously, I can tell you one thing that happened at the WAFCON, that before the Ghana game, the players were boycotting because we hadn't come to an agreement with the national team, with the association, and we left for the game late. Like we were supposed to leave at 5:30, I think, and we only left at 6. Got there at 7. The kickoff was at 8. Like, why is that an issue? Why are we doing these things? And then obviously the country expects us to go onto the field, but they don't know that we were literally sitting in the hotel waiting on our association to come back to us.
So you were striking before the Ghana game, the Ghana game.
Yes, Rob. It was horrible.
You're going to come back with a medal, hopefully a bronze.
And
so what is a dispute here? Jermaine, put us at ease here, because every time they just say it's a strike, they're fighting for money. So then
I think
the whole thing gets turned to you guys being unreasonable.
Yes, which is always the case, because obviously the national team doesn't come from a point of transparency, or the association. Whoever's working in that part of the association, I don't know. I know, but obviously I'm not going to name names or whatever. It's not what I should do. But I think, obviously, when the tournament started, I don't know if they knew or they didn't know that the prize money was going to be increased. I have my opinions, and we'll keep that to myself. But obviously, you can't negotiate in those manners. That's basically from a standpoint of like, it's not good negotiations. Like, you need to negotiate in transparency. So obviously, coming from just, this is what we have, this is what we can give you, and this is how we're going to negotiate this. And the offer came in. Obviously, I wasn't in the country when the players negotiated what they wanted. And then obviously they came to a verbal agreement. But before, the prize money was put out there for the world to see. So obviously, when the prize money comes in and there's the new negotiation needs to start, because that's coming from a point of transparency. Like, now we know this is what we will get if you guys win, wherever you guys end up. Let's renegotiate, and then we can figure out, okay, the association can take this and you guys can take this. Is this what we want to do with the money? And that's why we're offering you guys this. So I think it's just in terms of negotiations and transparency, I think that's where the issues continue to come in. And
but so are these big monies, though, if we had to break it down? So prize money becomes available. CAF has been very transparent.
Yes.
So whether it's the men's AFCON, whether it's the prize money for whatever it is, the club football, the Confed Cup, the Champions League, they've been very transparent in saying, guys, listen, we can't be playing for peanuts here. This is what we're giving. So as far as you know, Jermaine,
So the
Banyana wins and you defend your title.
Yes.
It would have been how much?
$1 million US. That's like, I think, 16.9 million rand.
So $1 million US.
Mm-hmm. I think $500,000 for second.
Yes,
I
correct.
think it was 350 for third and then 300 for fourth.
So now the negotiated fee prior to you coming in with the ladies had been how much?
I really don't remember because I wasn't part of that. Obviously,
Sure.
I knew I was basically leaving and I made my decision. So I wanted the players also to take responsibility because obviously there's always certain players that take responsibility of those things. And they did. They went there and they spoke to the association. And obviously the association came with the offer and they came back with a different offer. Then when we got to the tournament, the amounts were less. No, the amounts... The CAF money was then told to everyone and said, hey, this is what you guys are going to get. And then the players wanted to renegotiate.
Sure.
And when the renegotiations happened, the association came back and said, no, this is what you guys agreed upon, which was just a verbal agreement. You weren't given a contract. You weren't given... And you can't negotiate on bad terms. I feel like, obviously, for me, that's bad terms. Like you negotiate based on transparency. And when you know what you're now going to get, why is it not something that you can reconsider?
Is that amount something that you can tell us? What was SAFA offering?
I honestly can't remember because I had nothing to do with
the negotiation.
With the negotiation, I was just advising in terms of because I wanted the players to take responsibility, and obviously I'm stepping back. So, and that's what they did. They went forward and negotiated. I don't know what was the previous, but then obviously the players then came with the different offer based on the amounts that CAF had published.
But give me an example. It doesn't have to be about WAFCON. What do we do ordinarily? You playing whatever the game is, but you're representing Banyana Banyana.
Yes.
And they say you get paid what?
I think for a match bonus, it's 15,000. If we're playing a team that is not ranked in the top 20.
Right.
I don't really know when we play.
So a general bonus would be 15.
Yeah, for winning a match.
For winning a match.
And then you get your daily allowance.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And then, but for me, I think people come back and all they want to say is that it's money that we're talking about. No, it's principle.
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes back to, and people don't understand that. I think if you look at players within South Africa, a lot of them rely on the national team. And I think that's where the association kind of uses it to their advantage.
Because they think it's a lot of money, because there's no professional league that has been set up. It's still, the Hollywood Bets League, which again is an amateur league. They need more funding.
Yes.
They've done well to keep it going so far, but
and done a great job for me in terms of the growth of women's football. They've helped so much in that aspect. But I think it's just the principle. And obviously it's not just the association. I think for me also the environment in the national team became something, and I will say this before I even go into that, is that I'm not the easiest player to be around, because I'm someone that winning is everything. And I'm going to do whatever I can to win. And I'm hard on my teammates. I'm difficult with my coaches because I expect more, because that's what I expect from myself. I'm coming in, I'm giving my time away from a lot of things that I could be doing. I could be with my team, but I come back. So I think for me, it's just I'm not the easiest player to deal with as well. And I know that.
Put a handbrake on that. You're not the easiest player to be around.
Because I have high standards for myself.
Because the standards are high.
Mm-hmm.
So how high are the technical team standards when Jermaine is around? Stick around.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW.
Hey, are you looking at tiles again? Did you hit the jackpot and not tell me? A little something like that, darling. With Marawa Insurance, we don't wait 3 years to get something out. It's my cashback. We'll be able to give our kitchen that mini revamp a lot sooner. Aesthetics, babe.
Introducing My Cashback from My Way. Stay claim-free for just 2 years and get 10% of your premiums back to live your way. Go to myway.co.za and get a quote today. My Cashback is a feature on qualifying products paid after 2 claim-free years and all premiums paid. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
House & Home's Big Green Sale is now on, with unbeatable savings on a wide range of furniture, appliances and more. Like the Hisense 263-litre black glass finish water on tap bottom freezer fridge. Only 5,890. save 2,600 or save 2,500 on the Luna Neria Pillow Top Queen Base Set. Just 4,990. The big green sale only at House and Home until 3 August. T's and C's apply.
Is there anything worse than man flu or sick kiddos at home? Don't worry, Mom. Everflu C Immune Booster has got you covered. Just pop, fizz and drink to help keep sniffles and sneezes at bay. For little ones and grumpy grown-ups alike. Everflu C Immune Booster, your immunity's best friend. Also available for kids ages 4 and up. Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
So, how did it go?
Oh, just perfect. The drive, so comfortable. The panoramic sunroof, my highlight.
But what about the date?
It was nice, but the Jolian Pro, next level.
Sometimes the drive is the best part. The Haval Jolian Pro from 4,299 per month. Visit gwm.coza for T's and C's and book a test drive. Go with more. Go with GWM.
Since coin payphones, we've been turning small change to lasting connections. From more lomhlobo wam to more nice ways to stay connected, keeping every interaction monati. And now, our look reignited. Our classic brand cutting edge. So join us as we celebrate our bold new look, explore our history, and take a glimpse into our future. Telkom, possible begins here.
Can you hear that? That's the sound of someone discovering value cement at only R84.90. And yes, that's a free cappuccino while their paint is expertly mixed at 10% off. They've entered a wild world of unbelievable DIY deals, and frankly, they can't believe their luck. Join us from 17 July to 3 August for Chamberlain's famous for superb value promotion, packed with savings on DIY, outdoor, and building supplies. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Our very own international superstar, Jermaine Seoposenwe. You've been in the US of A, you've been to Lithuania, you've been to Spain, and now, boom, here we are in Portugal.
Yeah, well traveled. And I speak a little Spanish now.
Oh, wow. So look at all that Spanish that you learned. Now you got to go learn Portuguese.
That is true. But it does help. I mean, just being here I think I've been here for like 3 days now. It's really helped, I guess, with Spanish. It's easier to pick up what people are saying now that I have a little bit of Spanish background. Well traveled.
#MSW.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the legend. Rob, today it's Legends Night on a Tuesday because we are celebrating a career that has inspired generations and elevated South African women's football to new heights. From the day Jermaine made her debut to the final match, she played with unmatched passion, skill, and determination, and her goals led stadiums, and her leadership anchored Banyana Banyana, and her resilience is a beacon of hope for young girls dreaming of greatness. And thank you for your unwavering commitment to the national team despite all the challenges. But my question to you is that if you were in a leadership position in women's football, what will you do differently to address the issues of female players retiring prematurely? Because I'm looking at Robin Mudeli, yourself, Nomvola, who took a break as well, and Tembi Khatlana taking a break. For me, for personal reasons, I think there are similarities there, and I think that might be attributed to the treatment and the leadership that is at the helm in terms of women's football. But I just want to hear your views around that. Thank you so much.
All right, Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. It is an important conversation. That's why we said it is the big interview that we're having right here on #MSW. It's an important one because we don't want this to happen again and again, and we sit back on the sidelines and we start pointing fingers at other people. It is for us. Hey, guys, we love the game. We love football, and women's football has been such a struggle through so many years. And now that they've gained the recognition, they've been to New Zealand and Australia, they've played in the World Cup, they've gone to the last 16, yes, knocked out by the Netherlands. Hey, we watched it all happen real time. And she's our Filma singer, having scored that important goal that took us to Rio in Brazil for the Olympic Games. So there's so many different milestones that she has achieved that we cannot just turn a blind eye and say, no, okay, she's retiring. It's not a retirement. This is, I am forced to leave the stage. This is not leaving the stage at the right time and whatever those sayings are. This is being forced to leave the stage because nothing is changing. Our conditions aren't changing. The transparency isn't being shown. So there's so many things that, remember, when she stands there with the teammates, they're singing Nkosi Sikelel. That is a South African national anthem. It is not her personal little Gwijo jive that she's bringing forward. That is the anthem representing South Africa with the South African flag. So what do we as South Africans do when our sisters are going through such pain in representing their country? I mean, I played clips from Rassie Erasmus early on, coaching the national team, bringing in youngsters, taking them from divisions that nobody thought they would, because why? The environment within the Springboks is so happy. People want to fight, so they'll fight for the badge to be world champions again and again and again. That's what they fight for. What do South Africans fight for? They fight for bonus. Give them 15,000 rand. Let them be happy. Let them clap hands. Give them orange juice and water. All is good. That can't be us, South Africa. I think we're far greater than that. And you heard Tebogo. Tebogo was saying that if you were in the leadership position, knowing what you know now over the 15 years that you represented the country, what would you do differently?
I think I'd start with planning. I think for me that's a very, very important thing in terms of where do I want to see the team, and what do I have to put into place to get them there? How do I get sponsors involved? How do I change the narrative around the association? Because obviously I do believe that there are a lot of sponsors that want to get involved, but the perception of the association is not something that maybe they want to associate with, and that's okay. And I understand that fully, as not just a player, but someone that is interested in finance and business and those things. And so I understand the business side of that. But I think the planning needs to be better. I think if you know that your national teams are going to be here, you have the calendar, you have everything, why is it that you can't have a certain budget for that camp? Why can you not have these things in place? Why can you not have all the staff that they need? And so I think for me, that's where it starts, like the planning, the funding, and then we move forward. Because I just think, and this is just my personal opinion, is that planning is where it's lacking. Because if you plan, then all of these things will run smoothly. If you plan that if the national team comes in, this is what we're going to do for them. We're going to make sure that there's no issues around staff, money, traveling, accommodation. That needs to be taken care of. Like if they need a gym, if they need to stay at a hotel with a gym, if they need a gym off the hotel, if we have an hotel but it doesn't have a gym, if they need a nutritionist, because we don't have a nutritionist, which blows my mind.
You don't have a nutritionist?
No, we don't have a nutritionist.
As a national team?
No, we don't.
So what do you guys eat?
You just eat whatever is there. Obviously, the doctor will check. But obviously, for me, I'm someone that my diet is extremely important to me, and I take care of my body. And so I'm on a certain, I don't say diet, but I eat certain things that I need to fuel my body. And so
I'm very slow today, Jermaine, but I want to rewind. You do not have a nutritionist as a national team.
No, we don't.
Any reason that's been given?
No, I don't. I honestly, I think
I'm blown away. I'm actually shocked. I'm beyond, because, and I know we got that important issue, but I want to know when we migrate from the admin, I want to go into the technical team part.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go into the coaching part. I want to go into, does your unhappiness even stretch into that? But before I do that, Il Capitano, good evening.
Good evening, Parop.
How are you doing, Refilwe?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
You got Refilwe.
Just making her blush right now. Refilwe, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my skipper.
My skipper, how's it?
Sure, my skipper. You know what you know.
No, I just wanted to wish you well again and to say thank you for all the years and the contribution that you have put in the national team. And I hope the youngins have learned and will run with the baton that's handed over to them by you.
Skipper, I appreciate you. Honestly, I do.
Hey, now Skipper,
Yeah, we want to meet you, eh?
you said something. I was listening to the news last night, and you had all these microphones shoved into your face at the airport, and you had to answer questions. And as a captain, and I know that you've always been honest, even the time you had an interview with us right here in the studio, and you said you guys did the best you can outside of other issues. So you left that very loaded, but I could tell that the other issues are the things that are keeping us behind. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's true. But Jermaine is touching a lot on them. So mine for now is just to wish her well and give her the platform, to say her story and share to the world.
I appreciate that, Skipper. Thank you so much indeed. It was good to see you back on the field again, by the way.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, so the art of negotiation lies in what you do before there is a crisis, right?
Yes.
And that is exactly what Jermaine has taught us and is teaching us right now. So my art of negotiation happened during the ad break because I could see that we aren't going to finish all of these topics by the time it's 7 o'clock, and it's 4 minutes to 7 right now. So the entire team that I work with has said, you know what, let's give it exactly what extra time is about. 15 minutes and then a little break, and then 15 minutes, and then we do 30 minutes and we get out of here. So on record, you've agreed to that?
Yes, I have.
So there we are. So once we're done with the live broadcast across the different radio stations, please stick around. Go on the YouTube channel. You'll catch the remaining 30 minutes live, and you can still comment, you can still phone, and you can still send your WhatsApp voice notes. All of the things remain the same because Skipper, she just called. She's fully behind you, but she's also aware of the issues. Mm-hmm. Now, what about one of the things that were talked about is that you're not a number 9 unless football has changed. Yeah. And you were kind of playing in that position. Ronel is somebody who naturally would be playing in that position. What's your take? What's going on? Is there some either deliberate misunderstanding within the technical team itself in terms of making you happier in that space, knowing what you can produce and provide for the country?
I think, obviously, with Tembi not being there and the ability that I can play as a number 9, obviously also as Ronel is a young player and they didn't want to throw her into the deep end in WAFCON, they asked me to play in that position. Obviously, I wasn't happy with playing there, and that's normal. Obviously, my preferred position is as a winger. I play in that position at my team, and I'm very successful in that position. But the technical team didn't have anyone else that they felt like, could fill that position like I can. And I accepted that responsibility, even though I wasn't happy with playing in that position. And obviously the way that I play is not really suited to a number 9 in the way that we play as well. And so I think for me, obviously, it's the WAFCON. I have to make sacrifices for the team. I thought about the team and what they needed, and I played in that position. Obviously, my performances wasn't as great as I would have liked them to be, and for me, that's okay. Obviously, a lot of people will look and criticize me for my lack of goals, but I think that there's other contributions that I made within the games. But I accepted that. I accepted the fact that I have to play as a number 9 in this tournament until Ronel is capable, and that she's not just thrown into the deep end. I feel like that's just unfair on her to throw her into the deep end and expect her to carry the front line. And so obviously as a more senior player and more experienced, I took that upon myself and played in that position. I wasn't happy, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I would have loved to play in my position as a winger for my last tournament, but that was not possible. So
what's your relationship like with Desiree Ellis?
I think outside of football, I have a really good relationship with her. I don't have anything against Des, no matter what people say. At the end of the day, I do understand that she is also given the tools that she has, and she has to work with those tools. But I do believe that there's so much more that she can do for the team. I think in terms of also as a group standing up with us sometimes to fight against the association. I understand that she's employed by them and that's her job. But, Vera Powell used to go up there and, fight for us, and she wasn't scared of doing that. And so obviously in terms of culturally, I think that's also something that we need, there's a lot of things that I looked at as to, why sometimes Des wouldn't go up there and fight for us or wouldn't get involved in our fight as players. And that was sometimes disappointing for me, because I feel like when your players see you fighting for them, like when they go on the pitch, like they're going to be
fire.
like, yeah, there's fire. There's
we've seen Serena Wigman do that when there was racism being thrown at one of the key players in the England national team. And we saw what they did over the weekend. Again, they've been scraping it through right throughout. And then in the end, they lift the trophy. And she's personally done it multiple times now.
Yeah.
And it shows again, because publicly, press conferences, she was uttering the things that any player would want to hear, to say, oh, okay, we're not taking the knee. We've all decided we're not taking the knee, something that maybe people will frown upon and say, but hey, racism. We say, yeah, okay, we go on the knee then. What's happened? Nothing has changed.
Yeah, nothing changed.
We need more and that. All right, what we need is more time, and more time is exactly what we're giving you. So for this segment, we say goodbye to you. Frans on the line, please don't go anywhere. I see you. I'll be taking you straight after this. Jermaine Seoposenwe is my guest. Former Banyana Banyana forward, number 9, flanker, senior player, is still with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW. Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
A story about courage, conviction, and consequences. We spoke to Coach Jesse Julius, who carried hope in his hands. But when that dream turned into a nightmare in Portugal, when his players were left stranded, forgotten, and voiceless, he did what many. He spoke out.
He goes on air and takes interviews and just continues to lie and tries to cover his reputation if there is any left.
Brandon Timmy, the owner of the academy, who's on the line.
I'm not hiding around anything. I fully take the responsibility of how things has materialized.
And for that, he was silenced. What do I mean by that? He was dismissed.
Got deleted from all the groups out of the academy, signaling the end of my time with the academy for obviously coming forward and speaking my truth with our situation being stranded in a foreign country. Up until today, still no reason, no communication, none whatsoever.
#MSW. #MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Hulfalang here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to the champ herself, Jermaine Seoposenwe. Firstly, congratulations on a remarkable international career. Sad as it is that we're not going to see you don the jersey of Banyana Banyana in the foreseeable future, especially since, the Women's World Cup is just, 2 years away, less than 2 years away. It's taking place in Brazil. I really hoped and wished that you'd be there and, represent the country with honor and dignity, as you've always been for so many years, for so many appearances. In as much as I can shower you with praises, I just have to ask you this question. Many, many countries around the world, including Europe, including Australia and Oceania, and in Asia as well, and in North America as well, and South America, if I can say the rest of the world really, women's football has taken many, many, many steps forward, yet South African football for women is still stagnant if it hasn't taken a few steps back in terms of, the support that has been given, the game being professionalized. From your experience, why do you think that women's football is being held back? Why do you think there's not a lot of people showing its support as equally seriously as the men's game? Great show as always. Thanks.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and all the listeners. This is Joel from Watville in Benoni. Rob, it is really sad and heartbreaking to see that a player is quitting the game of football at national level just because of the treatment and some of the things that are not being done correctly. I hope her retirement will not only save her as
quitting the game. But maybe it will pave way for some other things that are not being done correctly so that they can be corrected, and then the rest of the players can enjoy what they need to enjoy in the game of football. Thank you.
Rob, Sir JC Tebe here. Good evening to Sis Jermaine there. I just want to find out from her, after the game against, when they were playing for the third playoff against Ghana, after the game she was presented with some things there. How did she feel when she was being presented with all those? Because for me, I'm asking because I was so upset. I was so upset that they trying to show as if they care about her when she's leaving, whereas when she was there, they didn't even care about her. So that's my take. Brother Pukusho, as always. Thanks.
Yeah, good evening, Rob. You know, hearing J12 talking about the issues that they were subjected to, it's rather unfortunate. Banyana Banyana, they're having to go through such difficulties and issues through this leadership. Yamakehla angafuni retire from the association. It's about time now that these people, these Makehlas, they just need to go. They really need to go. Truth be told, Banyana Banyana is outperforming Bafana Bafana. You know, we're talking about defending champions tournament is Pomagion. For them to be treated in a different manner compared to their male counterparts, it's shameful, to say the least. Shameful.
All right, South Africans speaking from the bottom of their hearts, and why not? As I said, it might be a painful conversation for some. For us, it is a conversation that has long been standing and outstanding. It's been long in the waiting, and that is why we continue with it right here on hashtag MSW. And we'll go back to some of those pointers that people have raised. Let me respect and thank Jermaine for taking the cause for the extra time part. And as you can see and tell, that there is a need for the continuation of the conversation. It's Franz in Pretoria. Good evening.
Good evening, Baro. How's it?
I would love to say I'm good, but yeah, we are surviving.
I'm also not good, Baro. Jermaine, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm not good, Jermaine. I'm one of those people who are not happy about your departure. This country still needs you. The football in this country still needs you. Banyana Banyana is not losing just a player. We're losing someone with experience. We're losing a leader. But overall, I'm really happy with your contribution to our national team. And I wish you all of the best. It's just sad you're living in this manner. It was going to be nice if you're living in your terms. But it's just sad how you depart our country. And you know what, Brarop? One day we really need to talk about this. The women's sport in this country is not treated fairly. And we shouldn't just turn a blind eye and just ignore the whole thing that is happening. This is just sad. I mean, to see someone who depart what she loves the most in this manner, it's really sad. But then, I'm not happy. But Jermaine, all the best, and I wish you everything of the best. Keep well, eh?
Thank you so much.
Very much for the
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much indeed. I think a lot of people are just expressing their shock.
I'm not leaving football. I'm still playing club football.
Yeah, but where are we going to watch you? Where are we going to watch you? YouTube? Where are we going to watch you?
Yeah, I guess so.
So we just see the clips, and we see a player that is so appreciated. When we see you run to the fans, they want your jersey. You give them the jersey. You give them the autographs. You give them the selfies. You give them everything. We see that. You get to Banyana, there's nothing because you don't have anything to give anymore. You've given your everything. And the caller was right. When they present you with the jersey and the frame and they celebrate you, those for me are just optics. Those things for me are just wishy-washy things that mean nothing. If they had given you a framed plan, never mind the framed jersey, those were your achievements. Putting it in the frame doesn't change the fact that they're your achievements. But let me allow you to answer what he was asking. How did you feel in that moment?
Of them presenting me a shirt?
Yeah.
Not really anything. I mean, at that point, I had already accepted what was coming. And obviously, I'm not going to stop people from honoring me in the way that they want to. Whether or not it means anything to me is a different story. But at the end of the day, like I told my teammates, I accept all the praise and stuff that you guys are giving me. Obviously, it's your way of showing your appreciation for me, and that's okay. And it's weird because obviously, like, the things could blow up like football per se. But I'm just
what the things
the things I know. But obviously, it's I accept it. I don't have any hard feelings toward anyone.
I mean, have you seen an implosion and a deliberate demolition of a building because they feel the structure's too old? Now, in the same spot that old building was built, you're going to build some great spanking new skyscrapers there with marble and glass, and it's going to be shining and looking beautiful and producing.
I get that, and the thing is for me also, like, there's a lot of people that have inboxed me and asked me like, hey, what can we do? But they know the issues. Like, it's not like we don't speak about them. Like, what's going on. Like, there is something that the people of South Africa can do. There's a lot of things that people can do, but do they do that? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What's the immediate thing? If you had to instruct, so this is your retirement instruction.
I'm not doing this. My sister advised me not to say something that I could get taken to court for defamation.
No, why would you get to court? You're saying to us, we who love football, we who have seen the women's game, we who have interviewed a Portia Modise who has said things that were at times, I still
I'm not
am
Portia,
shocked.
that's
no,
the thing.
100%. But I'm just saying that those struggles were there then.
I think there's
Why are they
a
still
way
there
of
now?
doing things. I do think there's a proper manner in the way that you do things. I think sometimes if you do things in a wrong manner, you're not going to get the outcome that you actually want. And so going there and blowing everything up and just spilling all the beans is not, I don't think it's in the best interest of a lot of people, especially not myself. At the end of the day, I still play football. I still have to come back to South Africa. But I do think that I would obviously change the structure of the association in terms of us having all these presidents, all these vice presidents as NEC. At the end of the day, the association needs to be run like a business because that's what it is. If you want to make money, and they always say that we're not making money off Banyana, we're not making money off Bafana, ticket sales are down, all of these things, but you have to run the association like a business, which is what I truly believe, and how you will then regain and get reinvested into the association. But I think the structure of the association is somewhat too irrelevant, too extravagant. I think if you can have a president, you can have a vice president, you can have an operations manager, you can have a CEO, CFO, but I don't think we need an NEC. I just don't understand it.
But it's to keep those people in power.
It's not a political. It's not a political. It's not a political party.
What's an NEC of the ANC? That is what keeps them in power. So you have an NEC of SAFA, then it's to keep them in power.
But why are we trying to stay in power when we aren't doing our jobs? I think if you are an upstanding citizen with values and morals, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're doing a job, and you're not doing it to the best of your abilities, why do you need people to keep you in power? Why aren't you honest with yourself and allow a new generation to come in and revigorate football in South Africa? We have a lot of ideas. We've experienced a lot of things abroad. We know exactly how things are run in other countries and why the Mexican League is doing so well. You can see it. So many people are coming. Like when we played Tigres, it's like 50,000 people in the stadium. Like I play at the men's stadium. Like there are so many things that I obviously have in my head and then I think about and that we've spoken about on several occasions that I feel like.
But don't they get infiltrated though, Jermaine? Because I'm loving the vision. I'm loving where you're going with this. But when you talk about the younger generation, I could easily say that, you got a younger CEO who's there. But I've also heard a lot of women who currently play say that they feel like they're being let down, that maybe her independence is not coming to the fore.
No, obviously you could see that. Obviously I have I've had my run-ins with Lydia on many occasions, and I am disappointed in her in a way that she used to be our manager one time. She understands everything that we went through, and now she is in a position of power, and obviously, like, clearly she's not able to use that power, or I don't know what she wants to achieve, because obviously you go into that position and there's things that you want to achieve, and I've never spoken to her about that, so I can't speak on those things. But yeah, it is disappointing to have a woman in there and still having to go through all these things. And obviously, I won't say anything bad about Lydia. We'll speak about the conversations that we had. I think that's private conversations, but she knows that I am not happy with her on a lot of things. But
and you've told her this?
I have told her this in a very bad way. But and so for me, it's at the end of the day, I do think as a collective, as a country, if we want to see change, if we don't want to see young players retiring, if we don't want to see the stars of our national teams, especially on the women's side, I think the men's side is a little bit different, but especially on the women's side, if we really want to see true growth and see how the rest of the world is doing things, we also need to educate ourselves, but also stand up, like be heard and do something about it. And not just by saying things, but by physically doing something about it, going out there and creating change. And obviously my retirement could be the start of that, which is something I hope. And it's not that I don't want to play for the national team. I would love to continue to play for the national team, but there's just no way that I will continue to play for the national team under the circumstances and being unhappy and basically forcing myself to do something that I love. Like, it makes no sense to me. Because I love football so much with all my heart. I love to play for my national team. I love to represent the people of South Africa. And comes with so much pride and honor. And stepping onto that field is one of the proudest moments in my life. So I would definitely reconsider my retirement, but not under the circumstances that I have to.
Which three things? Give me three things that would need to fall. Not the sky, but which three things would need to fall for you to actually reconsider? Because it's the first time I hear you use those words, but as a nation that's listening and listening very attentively and being shocked, guys, you know, people might laugh and say you may be over-exaggerating the issue of not having somebody to make sure that the meals are done properly. This is an age-old thing. And I even feel bad when Sasol, of all companies, so Sasol has been that one company, guys,
I love Sasol.
who have been the champions
Yeah.
of women's football from the beginning. So every time I see Matlomole Morake on TV, I'm like, Matluk. So I even associate him because he did so much work for Sasol, but for the national team and giving us information. And, you know, some of us actually benefited from that information because we love the game and especially the women's game so much. So when the Sasol says, but they've had enough, they're tired.
Does that not raise an eyebrow?
But that's
one
what
of the
I'm saying.
biggest
One of the
chemical
biggest
companies
supporters.
in the world.
And then they give up
Yeah.
after so many years of
so
being with
sad.
the national team, even at their worst times, when you guys were not even the golden generation, as you're termed
They were
now, they were there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, how does that make you feel, seeing that now WAFCON is done, there's strikes or get Toya before the Ghana game, then Cecil says, come on, these people are not serious.
And I think that's what Sasol is trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid these constant issues coming up with the national team because they know how much work they've put in as well to bring us to this point. Like, they were with us when we were doing horrible.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to watch us. No one cared about the national team. But they were there and they've been through everything with us. And so obviously I want to thank Sasol for everything that they've done. They've been amazing throughout the years. But just like them, like, you get to a point where you're just like, you can't do this anymore. Like, you literally can't. Like, it's like you want to so bad. And I hope that they come back. Honestly, I hope that everything can get resolved with Sasol because they're such a huge contribution and they've played such a major role in women's football over the years, not just Banyana, but SASA League, and so...
If you remember under 23s, the Matluk-Luks. There was a whole ad about a Matluk-Luk, and that was Cecil.
Yeah.
So when you lose that bit of history. You lose, South Africa beating a Brazil at under 23 level. Your David Kanameyers and your Benny McCarthy's and your Matthew Boots, your Lebohang Kukames, your Daniel Matzaus, everybody. Those were some of the greatest players that we have had in South Africa, played under 23 and beaten the living daylights out of a star-studded Brazil. But those are the foundations of development, and then we leave them behind.
And I think I think Cecil is so invested in women's football that they want to make it right so bad. But it's just like you knocking heads, like you literally, it's the definition of insanity, doing things over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
So what are the three things that need to fall for you to reconsider?
I think for me, firstly, the association has to become more transparent in what they're doing, and make a valiant effort to change women's football, not just Banyana, like the Hollywood bets, like make it professional, like revamp it, do something so that people are coming out and actually watching women's football, figure out a way to improve the development structures. Because obviously after our generation, which everyone calls the golden generation, who is going to step up next? Who is going to fill those spots and then become the next golden generation? Because you don't want us to go and fall off and there's nothing to replace us with. And then I think in terms of the environment within Banyana, and I think it needs to change. I think there are things that obviously in terms of technical team and staff, they have their things going on, and I think their issues and our issues are creating this weird dynamic in terms of us not being able really to reach our potential, because I feel like all of us are going through these issues with the association, these issues with one another. And I do believe that also in terms of like just with us as players abroad, you have that level of knowledge in terms of we come back and we've been coached by all of these people that have poured so much knowledge into us. And so obviously we're also expecting an extremely high level of coaching within the national team. And obviously I'm not saying that the coaches are not good enough. I'm just saying that obviously circumstances don't allow them to be able to be exposed to an international level of where we actually needed to go, where Banyana needs to go to improve and to become the best team on the African continent, which I know we are capable of. And I know that we have the players because we've proven it. I mean, you go to the World Cup, you don't just go to round of 16 for nothing. You've shown that you can compete with the best teams in the world. And then we are just regressing, For me, I just feel like we're regressing because all of these things are just being funneled into like, oh, like you guys, we will figure it out because we Banyana, we Tembi, we Jermaine, we Linda, we Hilda, Fifi, Bambanani, Andile, all of these amazing players, Kaylin, everyone that's involved in the national, we will figure it out. But as players, we also need to be guided in terms of, this is how we want to play. We're going to do this until we get it right. There's just little things that I feel like as players you expect, and when you don't get that, then it also kind of makes you feel that we're not going anywhere. Yeah. Like you don't want to feel like that. You want to feel like there's progress. The development within the team, we're getting better constantly every day, every camp. You can see there's a way of playing. You recognize the style of Banyana. When you see Banyana, you're like, oh, that's their style of play, So getting better in all of those things, aspects of football, is also important for me. So the development of the team, tactically, technically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of those things are incredibly important for us to move forward. And then the last thing I would say that obviously investing into the national team more, I sympathize with companies, and I understand like they want to be a part of what and where the national team is going to go. I fully believe that, but I also understand the perception of they don't want to get involved because every time they hear Banyana striking or every time. So I think it all starts from the association and it will trickle down. But to set standards for yourself, to become more transparent with the players, and to lead, I think we need to be led in a way that we know that these people have our best interests at heart, that when the players come in to camp, it's their best interest. We want to see them doing well so bad that we will give them whatever they need, whenever they need, and we will help them to get to what we know they can get to. You know, the level of play that I know that Banyana can play at, we can reach that, but all of these issues are constantly coming up, or constantly
holding
being
us back.
forward.
Yeah,
and I do believe that if we can solve all these issues, and people need to get involved. Like I'm calling on South Africa, whoever is able to bring change, like bring change. Like you might feel like your contribution is maybe not needed, but it is. Like if you have power to bring change and do that, whoever you are. I mean, I don't want to name names, but I just feel like as a country who loves football so much, like we should I don't want to say ashamed or disgusted, but we should look at it as we want to change what is happening within the structures of football.
I'm ashamed. I'm disgusted. We call upon the leadership at times to come and account here, which they should, because it's not a private entity that they're running. It's a Football Association of South Africa. In the same way, we want accountability from cricket and rugby. It's an association from SASCOG. It is the Olympic body for South Africa. So they become accountable to the nation. So when they refuse or they don't answer or they got constant flus and colds that they have which never heal, then I don't understand that, because then it almost like, showing the country the middle finger and saying, to hell, we don't have to account for anything. We've been here for gazillion years, so we just do as we please. And that for me is troubling. But on a positive note, one thing that I know, as somebody who's naturally an intelligent human being, you continue to study, and you're studying
law.
You're doing law.
Yeah.
Love it. So you're doing law. Maybe you can wind up a couple of people, put them behind bars eventually. But you're studying law.
Yes, I am.
What's the bigger picture? Because I don't know if law is the only thing you're studying, but what's the bigger
No,
picture?
I have a degree in marketing, in business administration with a focus in marketing. And then I'm studying law. But I think for me, my law degree has a lot of aspects to it. I think obviously coming back, and I really want to help the league in South Africa actually become professionalized. I think it's a responsibility that all players should invest in. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about knowledge and power and whatever you can. I think as women in football, it's our responsibility also, not just to point the finger at the association or these things, even though it's run horribly, but it's to also take responsibility and step up and say, hey, what can I do to help the league be professionalized? What ideas can I come up with? How can I get sponsors involved? How can I go to sponsors and be like, hey, what would it take for you to come on board and help the league to become professionalized? Because that's how we grow women's football. That's how we allow young players to come in and achieve their dreams, because they see us and they're like, oh, I want to be like Jermaine, I want to be like Tembi, I want to be like Linda. All these players, Fifi, can mention so many players that they want to be like, and we need to give them a platform to do that. So yeah, I think first and foremost, that's what I might do with my law degree, and then there's other things that I would rather keep to myself. But
we're listening. Okay, let me switch the mic off. You can tell me, please.
There you go. But yeah, I think that's definitely, I think my degree will give me a lot of options. And
so you'd come back a future leader of the association, but then you'd have to circumvent certain things, because they'll ask you, which LFA do you represent? So usually that's how you don't get into the leadership, because everything is so locked into this NEC and LFA, and you must vote for this one, you must be in that region, and if you're not in that region, then you're not going to ascend into power.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much I would want to change in the way that we run football in this country, but at the at this point in my career, I don't have the power to do that. The resources, maybe. But
you would change it with that marketing degree that you do have. But one
Yeah.
thing that you would change is the fact that I didn't know this talent of yours, but it's there. Is that the go-to song? Hey,
yeah, I guess so.
Hey.
Also, I need to do the rumors that are going around that I'm pregnant or that I'm getting married. Or, they need to stop. Like people keep on doing.
Okay, now we drop. I was just playing.
No,
a
because
song.
that's what people were saying. That's the reason I'm retiring. Like
That you're pregnant.
Yeah, that I'm pregnant or that I'm getting married or that like I'm trying to get. No, I'm not trying to have kids. I'm not getting married. Like just to put it out there, please. Like please stop these rumors.
Oh, jeez. I mean, that is above my league.
Before we end the
extra time.
The extra time, just please. I'm not getting married and I'm not pregnant and I'm not having kids. So
Maybe
yeah.
that's a wish South Africans have for you. I don't know.
I just wanted to stop all these rumors. Maybe they do. I mean, I don't know, but that's not the reason.
It's a not now thing.
Maybe not ever thing.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Now you got me tongue tied, but I'm just like, okay.
Before it starts, I wanted to just put that out there. Stop texting me.
I mean, I don't know. I'd never picked up on that.
I've been getting so many tweets and stuff about me being pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I can tell you that with 100% conviction.
Sure.
Or getting married. Like no one is telling me to retire. I'm doing this out of my own. Please.
Yeah. If you got that, Shandis, can we do a quick...
Oh my gosh.
While everyone's watching around the continent.
Please stop the rumors. Please, I beg you guys. It's getting crazy now.
I know we supply water, we supply all sorts of cool drinks. Now we're going to need to supply pregnancy tests, kits. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting too many tweets and yeah. No,
I think the people just have much love for you, though. I mean,
No,
at the end of the day, you know.
I do
this.
appreciate that. I love the people of South Africa so much, and I really, really do appreciate all the support that they've given me over the years. And I would want nothing more than to continue to play for the national team. But I don't think the other stuff. I've been suffering for 15 years. I feel like, and I have a choice now, and I don't want to do that anymore. So, for my well-being and for the love of the game, for the passion that I have, I just want to be in an environment that makes me happy and that I can play football where I don't have to deal with all these issues and I can just love the game and give it everything that it's given me. So, yeah.
Sure.
That's me. I'm out. But if they change, I might reconsider. So.
We're going to convince you. Don't worry. You know me when I wear my convincing
I
cap.
know. You're going to be texting me.
So the one thing that before we let you go, now we're going into referee's optional time of extra time.
Oh, wow.
Which it's going to be quick, though,
Yeah.
if you follow the rules.
Yes.
So the shareholders always provide me with quick fire questions.
Oh, my
You just have
gosh.
to answer. It's not bad. It's not bad. Trust me.
You always put me on the spot for some reason. Every time I come here.
Listen, you'll enjoy these questions. They're not from me. They're from the shareholders, the people that listen to the show.
Okay.
So very quick. As long as you answer just one word. One
Okay.
word. That's it. Otherwise, you're going to be
I
guilty
don't know
of
how
holding it.
to one word it.
Okay. Put the leadership thing, the motivational thing one side. One word.
Okay, here we go.
One word.
Let's do it.
Firstly, what's your name?
Jermaine.
You did well. One word. So let's carry on. What's your favorite goal in a Banyana Banyana shirt?
Oh, that is
One word.
Oh gosh. Come on, Rob. This is so hard. Like, how do I choose?
One word.
I want to say
You're saying too much.
Tunisia WAFCON 2022 to qualifiers for the semi-final.
Okay. Tunisia 2022. Cool.
If we did play.
We get the moment.
guess
But it's
so,
one
yeah.
word. Yeah. Give it as one word. Your proudest moment in football.
Winning AFCON.
Best teammate you ever played with.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm not
One
answering
word.
this. I cannot answer this.
One
no.
word.
Pause.
We're gonna call security.
I have so many teammates that I
That's
love.
fine. They must be strong. You're just choosing one.
No, I can't. Oh, it's Cho meow.
See.
Oh my
Madam
god.
Smearder's here with
like
you.
I have to
Hey.
now. I have to. You put me on the spot because I have to say Leandra, but
No, Leandra's fine. She's here with you. So she's
Yeah, I gotta-
proven that she's a good friend.
she
and-
is a really good friend.
But who's the best teammate you ever played with?
Oh my gosh, I'm not answering this
You
question.
have to, otherwise security will bump you out of here.
I'm gonna have to get bumped then. Pause,
You can't break
please.
the rules.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you to pass this one. Like
You don't want to be not a popular person, I can see.
my friends love me and I love them, so you're gonna have to.
All right, okay. Hardest defender you ever faced?
Hardest defender?
Yeah. Tough as nails. Someone who just, that one's playing. No.
Like even if it's in your own team.
Yeah, 100. Well, that's a bit soft, though. But hardest defender you ever faced?
None of them
Be
then.
competitive.
Faced in a game.
In a game,
None of them. No.
All right. What's your retirement meal?
Retirement meal.
What's on the plate?
What's on the plate? Oh, steak. Medium rare.
Medium rare. Your career has not ever been medium rare, ma'am. So please take it from us as we say goodbye and say thank you to everybody that's been watching on the YouTube channel. Thank you for the love, the support. I mean, I can show you this. I know it's a black screen, but I'm sure you can see what's going on. All the love that's going on over there. So thank you, guys, for staying on the extra 30 minutes and some change. We do appreciate you. We wish we could change the decision, but you've given us 3 items that could render us back to seeing you play for the national team.
Yes.
We will work hard as a show to make sure that happens. But thank you.
I hope so.
Journey back to where you love playing your football. Continue winning. Continuing be the one player that the supporters love so much. And you earn the Player of the Match awards and everything else that comes with it. But thank you for being you. We definitely do appreciate and yeah, I mean, happy retirement if that's what it means.
Thank you. I'm gonna enjoy my time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Jermaine.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it.
She said it all.